Carissa Pavlika, TV Fanatic. Nice to
Hello.
meet you both.
Hello.
Nice to meet you as well.
So, Will, why is now the right time to bring this story to television?
I think this is a moment where people are ready to hear the whole story behind the movie. And what we're trying to do is just look at it with that same humor and warmth and heart and comedy and flawed characters, but really open it up to a whole new generation of stories. Like we love the movie. We would never want to do the movie again. It already exists and people will always have it. So we don't really think of this as a reboot as much as sort of a reimagining of the story, almost like we're a cousin of the movie. And we got a chance to talk to Penny Marshall about it before she passed away, and she was so excited and was like, there was so much that I didn't get to do that I wanted to do, and said, these stories changed my life, and I think they'll change yours too. And she's been right.
They did.
And Desta, can you talk a little bit about the writer's room and the challenges you face breaking stories for so many characters?
I feel like the challenges was like there was so much. I mean, I think in stepping into this and we did a lot of research. It's like you just realize how many stories there are, and how much that we wanted to bring to the screen. So really, it was like sort of an embarrassment of riches. So it was bringing to the writer's room. It was sort of like, how can we tell the most story in sort of the best way? Because we have a lot of characters, but part of, I think, the responsibility is to service those characters and to give everybody a full life and nuances and full stories, which was a challenge, but in a way that like doing great things are. And really, I don't see it as a challenge. It was just more of like a privilege and a joy.
Yeah, I mean, it's the hard thing with any ensemble piece, right? Is you want everyone to feel three-dimensional, but at the same time, you don't want the audience to be like, whoa, what am I supposed to be watching? It's too much. And the movie does it so well, where even the minor characters, they get one or two moments
that
you
matter.
like really feel them. So we were just trying to do that same thing. But the show really starts as a two-hander between Carson Shaw, who's Abby Jacobson's character, and Max Chapman, who's Shantae Adams' character. And it grows out to be a story that's really about their communities and the bigger world of Rockford at this time and this generation of women who wanted to play baseball.
Yeah, and trying to giving people sort of audiences, characters, moments, and storylines that they can really see themselves in and connect with.
Yeah.
How much material do you think you have in this particular time frame and with these particular characters should the show continue?
27 seasons.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, it's funny. People have been like, so how did you think to do the show this way? And it was really, in reality, it was like, as soon as we started to look into the real stories, we were just like, there's so much here. So what's the right way to bring people into it? But there's a huge, I mean, World War II was a time just like now where the world was really challenging in some ways. But this is a story of people finding themselves in the midst of that darkness. And it's a joyful story and a fun story and a funny story. And I think we need that right now. And it's really, I mean, there's not a limit to how far this show can go. And we really think and hope that it'll really connect with people.
Well, I also think, there is such a richness and depth to the stories that existed, and that so much of what we're trying to do is just telling the real story. And I feel like almost all the worlds we highlight could be their own show. Like the Peaches could just be a show. Max and Black Rockford could just be a show. The queer community, the sort of Black baseball and the Negro leagues, like the factories. They're just so much of the world and our history and the women sort of this generation that already just like exist. That I'm just like, there's like so much in the sandbox to play with. It could be like, we can do this forever.
And we're working on season 2 now. And I think already people will be surprised and also hopefully satisfied by some of the places that the show goes.
Well, I'm sure they will be. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate it.
You bet. Bye-bye.